happens basically is the next cost report is going to get generated. This will be restricted to the authorities for the management access control only. There only they will be going to consider this. How will be going to use the another fashion it is going to be user requirements and system requirements. User requirements are client managers, system end users, client engineers, control managers, contractor managers, system architects. These are all comes under the user requirements. All these people can access their requires. Okay, they can ask some questions to the system requirements. Okay, system requirements is the end users who is going to take that particular task. Client engineers, managers will be going to ask, the engineers are going to give the solution for that. So system architects, software developers, they are going to give the solutions to the user requirements. For all the stakeholders for the application, for this particular application, they are the end users, system managers, system owners, external stakeholders. So here for the organization, end user for the Mentcare systems, or we can say the hospital management system, the end users are the patients. System managers, there are middle managers where the people are going to be help desk people, we can say. Okay, so those things. Then system owners, who is going to operate, there's doctors, we can say. Okay, then stakeholders, they are the people who is going to initiate for the management. So those people are the stakeholders for your application. Okay. In the Mentcare system, stakeholders are patients whose information is recorded in the system. Okay, they are the end users, we can say. Okay, patients or the information recorded in the system. Then doctors who are responsible for assessing the treating of the patients. They are we can call it as the stakeholders. Okay. Nurses, okay, and medical receptionists, IT staffs. All these are the stakeholders of Mentcare system. So medical ethics managers, there also comes under that. Then healthcare managers, medical records, staffs, because they are all one and the other way, they are contributors for the patient. Okay, and the doctors. Finally, the management also they will be going to comes under this stakeholders. Agile methods that we will be going to use and their requirements. Agile methods are nothing but very quick changes if it is going to be there. That time we will be going to use these methods. Okay, there's no need of so much elaborated detailed system requirements are going to be there. So it is not required. On directly any changes are going to be there, any models are going to get changed. The simple specifications that quickly that they can able to change the requirements. So always requirements, whatever the document is there, SRS is there, we can say that is out of date, because every day there is a new change is going to be present. So whenever you will be going to give the requirements, you should think ahead and you should give the requirements, so that will be at least you will be one step ahead for the outdated data, outdated environment, basically you can say. Agile methods are going to be the best models that are going to use for the incremental requirements are going to be there in this. So use the Agile models for the execution. A practical way of businessing, okay, that should be done by using the pre-delivery systems. It is nothing but some critical systems are going to be there. Okay, some critical systems are going to be there. Those things are going to be delivered quickly, so that the benefits are going to be taken by the business peoples. Now we'll see that functional and non-functional requirements. For any product, functional and non-functional things are going to be present in this. Now we can say that functional requirements. So functional requirements are what system needs, what should we get provided for that. That is going to be considered in this. Okay. Then what are the inputs should be there for that. Those things are going to be the important points for the functional requirements. What system should do, that we should provide. Non-functional requirements is constraints on services. Some problems are going to be there. Those functions it is not going to get operated with that. Those things comes under the non-functional requirements. Systems such as timing constraints, constraints on development process, some standards, we are not going to use it. So that you should accept it. Okay, accept and you have to provide the information. Then you should consider this non-functional system as a whole rather than individual features. As a whole, whether it is working properly, that you should consider. You should not consider as a individual features. If it is not going to work, it should be accepted. Then domain requirements, very very important thing. Constraint is, if you are not knowing the domain of that particular operations, how that it is going to be done, it is very difficult. So you should know about the domain requirements of the system. In detailed way, the functional requirements are, they are the system services firstly, and the expected input, expected output is going to be present in this. Expected users and systems are going to be used in the softwares. Then functional requirements is high level statements it is going to be, and we have to go narrow to the system where the data is going to get collected for that, what is required actually, so that it is going to get considered. Usually functional requirements, it is going to be written in the form of diagrams. Okay, so use case diagrams and all these things, that it comes in the next, there it is going to be used. Then you should describe in the system services, whatever that you will be going to mention in the functional requirements, that should be mentioned in the detailed way, what it is required, what that particular service that should be done from that particular program, that it should be mentioned. Example here, it has been taken as a Mentcare system functional requirements here. Users shall able to search the appointment list for all clients. This is one requirement, it is going to be functional requirement. So what is the input for this? Okay, input is which day, which clinic, which patient is being present in that or attended the appointments on that particular day. All these things are the inputs for this, that should be mentioned. Then each staff member using the system is uniquely identified by 8-digit employer number. It's nothing but it is being mentioned as 8-digit. You can make it as 10-digit. It is your wish. Okay. So based on those things that it is going to be specified, so that it can be able to access. So now here, if I am going to consider your USN, okay, your USN is the student identification number, university seat number we can say. Okay. Then that is unique for 4 years for you. That number will be given, and anytime that you can able to access, first we will be going to ask you the USN number. Then based on that only we want to fetch your data from the database. Okay, like that. In the Mentcare system, they will be going to use the staff members to fetch the data. That employer number they will be going to use as an ID for that. Requirements impression. Okay, so problems whenever that it is going to rise for the functional requirements is precisely it should be stated. what actually it is required.